Alright guys, so like I said, I have to do the same airbag that I did on the other GL, and I've been pushing this thing far too long. So now I'm gonna see if I can swap it out and see if I can see the leak where it's at. But I know she's leaking. You can hear when she's going up, and she's busted. So regardless, like always, jack your car, put a stand underneath of it, and let's get started. Hopefully I could record the whole thing this time, but it's the same process. Let's take the wheels. They're 17. Let me see if I can show you guys. Well, kind of on the shade there for a minute, but it is leaking. Try to put a stand underneath this thing. We will be needing the jack to support the arm later. So that's out of the way. Gotta open the hood. But let me get the straps off so we can reduce the tension on the lines, the ABS and the brake line. And then we gotta take the link off. So so the zip tie that holds the bracket for the sensor and the brake line, you're gonna have to put a new one in. Let's see, and apparently I had a couple of zip ties holding together. That's out of the way. It's out of the way, so everything is moving freely. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that sway bar link, case is a 22. Let's see. Alright guys, so finally got a tripod. So now I'm working a little bit better. I'm not used to it. First time that I'm recording with a tripod, so let's see. So you take the 22 off, And what you want to do is you want to support the link on the bottom so you can get the tension off, so that you can release it from the hole and you don't have any tension in it. Sometimes you gotta support the link, sometimes you gotta support the control arm of the actual vehicle to raise it up and down. We'll see which one it is that we need. Well, I guess we're gonna have to go to hammer. For some reason it's not releasing. Alright, so now that it walked out, let's try again the positioning. There we go. Alright, easy as that. Tapped it a little bit, moved the tension up, and it released. So now we can we still got to take this guy off and the 24 in the bottom. So let's take the support, the bracket on the bottom. Let's get a 24. Again, the nut came out. We're going to see if this one will retract without having to tap it from the other side. Alright, so it didn't do any damage to the stud. Now that's released. We can go ahead and loosen up this one right over here. I believe it's a 22. And with extension and swivel. Now in the past, I had already replaced pretty much all my suspension. This is the only one that I haven't replaced ever since I own the vehicle. But the sway bar, the bottom control arm, the sway bar links, and the upper control arm, I have already replaced. Be right back, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. So I already replaced pretty much everything on this car, and now I'm back to replacing some more stuff. So sad to say, I am going to fix everything that I can, and I am going to get rid of the vehicle, just because I don't have the time to keep on working on my vehicles. I have like 4 cars now, and I really don't have the time to keep addressing my own car problems. So that being said, now let's fix this one. So again, we're still tight on top, so I'm gonna open the hood so we can get the 3 bolts on top and release the line from it so that we can take it out. Alright, so like I have said before, guys, we have 1, 2, and 3 back here, and we have the line, which is a 10 nut on the center. So we're going to release those 3, and the shock should release on the bottom. Alright. For some reason, these tensions, they don't hold up. They always tend to fall for some reason. So again, those are 13s. You want to release the line first before you take them all out, so that way the line doesn't get stretched with the weight of the shock. So that's out of the way. And the very last one. Let's see something. So let's just loosen this one up quite a bit, so we can have somewhat of a movement. Okay, so what we want to do is the fork here, we want it to go over the axle, and she's still holding on top with that one nut. So we're going to push here down so we can pull this side. We might have to compress it a little bit. I think it'll be best, but obviously my shock is bad. This is still a struggle even though it has a bad shock on it. So you can see all that grease there. All that grease is a busted shock. So it's already over the axle. On the new one, we're gonna go through this together anyways, but on the new one we do have to put it on top, and we have to use the jack to lift it up a little bit so we can cross that over. Alright, so let me loosen up the last bolt so that this thing will fall. So you might want to hold it and loosen up on top. Alright, there it is. Alright, so yeah, this one wasn't as bad as the other car that we did the other day, that it just disintegrated itself. But yeah, we got plenty. This bag has been there for a little bit, and it's very cracky on the bottom here. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but and I'm sure it's gonna have a soft spot where it's leaking from, but regardless, we have a bad strut, so we're gonna be putting a new one in. Alright guys, so the little nipple that comes inside, just take it out with a little plastic clip, that way the little seal doesn't fall off inside, and you can take it out. It's not going to go inside the bag regardless, but you want to take this out so you can put this on the line, because that will be a new seal. Obviously you want to take the nuts off, and again, when you guys are buying these bags, try not to go for the cheapest ones. Try to get something in between, if the budget is not there. But they're all gonna do the same job. It's just that one might quit sooner than the other brand. So if you can save a few bucks, why not? But obviously I didn't pick the cheapest one, even though I'm getting rid of the car. I know. Decisions. Alright guys, so now I'm gonna try to see if I can put line the studs inside on through the top, so I can put one nut in it, so we kind of secure the shock in the air, so then we can compress it and go over the axle. Alright, let me try that. Get that done real quick. So usually the one that goes through Okay, so the one that usually goes through is the one behind the out of the three, the one closest to the firewall is the one that goes through. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to put our jack kind of facing forward, because we are going to be lifting it and pulling over. So we want the jack to actually move without motion. So we don't want to cross weight or anything like that. We want it straight. Alright, so you guys, just the phone calls that come through and when I least expect it. Alright, so right now we compressed it and we are over the axle. Okay, even though everything looks pretty close to each other and blah blah blah, so we're gonna attempt to pull the axle over, but try not to damage the boot. So it's gonna be pulling and kind of pushing back a little bit just to go over the axle. It's easier said than done. Alright, So by pushing the jack, I was able to cross the axle over without having to actually pull on it. So just by pushing the jack, we were able to go over. So now I'm going to loosen up the jacket slowly, so we don't damage the boot. And on top, I can present the other nuts, just because everything is compressed, and it makes it easy. Alright, so now let's loosen up the jack. Alrighty, perfect. So now the jack being loose, we want to get the control arm from the bottom so that we can push it up, guide the shock in place, and put our bolt in. Okay, so what you do is we're gonna have that hole, tap it all the way through, and then present your nut. Okay, so that's out of the way. The other thing that we can do now is connect a little plastic sensor and an ABS brake line, an ABS sensor, so everything is back in place. And now, since everything is together, we're going to go ahead and raise up the lower control arm so we can put the upper control arm bolt in place. So when I kind of get it started, doesn't really take that much effort. And then again, we present the nut so everything is secure. Then we can take the jack off. Everything's in place. We still gotta do it for the link, stabilizer link. I should have done that with the jack on, but regardless, let's proceed to tighten up the upper control arm. Alright, make sure that that does not go anywhere. Then we're going to take our 24 and we're going to secure the lower nut. Out of the way. Obviously, if it starts spinning, you're gonna have to hold it on the other side, but it really shouldn't. So now that's done, let's go ahead and get the link on. So for the link, we want to also, depending on your link, we want to go up and push the pin through or the stud through. So that's already out of the way. And I believe that's a 22 as well. 22. With a swivel and extension. Alright. It's already in place. So now we can lower the strut completely. Alright, make sure that the dust cover, if you guys with the jack by mistake touched it on the bottom or anything, make sure that you bend it back so you're not damaging the rotor or making any weird noises. So now the last thing that we got to do here in the bottom before we can put a wheel on and lower the car, it will be securing these little brackets here so that none of the sensors or brake lines are flopping everywhere. So we're gonna get some long zip ties. We're gonna fit it through the holes that it has, zip tie it, cut the end, and that will be done. Alright guys, so now we got long zip ties. The back of this one is gonna have a see-through slot. All you want to do is just put the zip tie in there, cut the end of it, and on the other one, right where the sensor, the ABS line goes through, there's a little slot that you fit this through. You're going to be able to see it. Make sure that you don't tie this, the line to the bracket. Fit it all the way around. Sit tight, cut the end, and that's done. Always double and triple check your work. That way you don't have to go back and redo everything again. I always do that. So everything is tight in place. The bottom is tight, top is tight, our link is tight. So everything is looking good. So now what we can do is put our jack again so we can lift it up, take our stand off, so that we can put a tire in. Once we put the tire, we want to lower the car, not all the way to the ground, but we want to lower it just enough so that later when we turn on the car, the sensor reads that the car is lower on one wheel and will start going up again. Alright. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and put our tire on. And if you're like me, you're going to put any seats on the studs. There's a lot of people that struggle putting the studs in. They can't get it to line up properly. So I'm just going to present them, and then I'm going to use the gun so I can screw them in. Okay. Always do it slowly. Alright, so now we're going to turn it down. On this Milwaukee, I already have the setting to torque down SUVs, so I already have it on setting. So that's done. Now we can go ahead and lower the car, but always leave a gap, okay? Like the car is normally, you know, regular height. Always you want to leave that gap. And once you install the line on top, which is what we're going to be doing now, putting a new nut, seal, and crusher, or yeah, the crusher for the line. Then we're going to start the car. Then we're going to lower the jack even more, so the car thinks that, hey, this tire is out of level. Let's raise it up a little bit, and then it will start bringing air to the bag. All right, so let's do that. Okay, so what we want to do now is we're going to go ahead and secure our strut. Okay, now we got a line. You can leave this on and it will still tie down and it wouldn't have any leaks. But what you want to do is just get on the little groove that it has and pry it open so you can release it. And then you gotta take the nut off. Okay. Take the little pin off. Squeeze everything in. And the new seal, you have to bring it down to the little groove that it has on the line itself. There you go. Alright, so that means that it's going to seal properly now. So now we're going to go ahead and with our 10mm wrench, we're going to guide it in place. Once we have it in place, we're going to want to try to get it started. So then we can tie it down. I know, guys, it's a little bit tight because we didn't remove the bracket, but even if we had the bracket, you still have to feed it through the center of the bracket so that it will still make it hard to get the first turn in there. But once it's in there, you start wrenching at it. Just want to make sure that we're not cross-threading it. There we go. Alright, so now that it's in, just bottom it. Okay, it's tight. Later we're going to check for leaks if it has any, but that's done. Alright guys, so I already started the car, and as you can see I still have my jack underneath, and it looks like it's level, right? Well, that's because of the jack. So now I'm going to lower it, and the suspension is supposed to kick in. There we go. So you can hear that compressor kicking in. And now it keeps inflating it to where it's supposed to be on level. Alright, so apparently she's up to level. She might drop down a little bit just to adjust herself. But that being said, always double check for leaks on the airbag on top, but you do have new seals on it, so that will leak. But yeah, so that's how you do the replacement on the strut on the front end of the Mercedes GL450. The GL550 is the same thing. The only difference is that it has a little bit more of a comfort setup on the shock, but it will still be the same thing. The only difference will be that plug for the little comfort shock. But that's it. Alright guys, like always, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.